My teaching style involves a lot of cases, and cases are written by either professors or graduate students at different universities around the world. And what a case is a description of a real event that happened in the not too distant past. And what the case does is it puts the students in the position of somebody in that case, often what we call the protagonist, the lead person. And we look at what transpired over the course of the time period in that case, and we analyze effective and ineffective decisions. And that happens through a kind of a dialogue between me and the students in the class. But sometimes I also have little exercises that we do in class in small groups of, say, 3 students. And then my task is to basically draw out decisions that these various groups are recommending as if these are real groups and real decision-forcing situations. I think students like cases because the cases are less abstract than journal articles that are assigned often in courses. They're real-life situations. It also gives students an opportunity to learn a little bit about places they would be unfamiliar with. Thailand or Vietnam. And I think students generally appreciate that. My task is to cut through the details in the case to try to make sure that the students get the big picture and practice the decision-forcing elements of those cases. I've been doing this for a long time, and so I particularly like the case method. I think it's well suited for a professional program like the Master of International Affairs degree. And through student evaluations, I think students in general like these cases as well. So I always joke around with students at the very beginning of my course. I said, when you were an undergraduate, you always tried to figure out how you're going to stretch 8 pages of writing into 12 pages because the professor wanted a minimum of 10 pages. But, in professional life, in government and not-for-profit organizations, you tend not to write long papers. You write short papers, memos, for example, 1, 2 pages, 3 pages. Only occasionally, if you're doing a fairly complicated analysis of a project or a program, will you write something longer. And so I leave these term papers to other instructors. I don't assign them because I don't think that that's what people do in professional life, by and large. I think shorter is better. And I think it's important for students to practice writing clear, crisp, professional papers of 5 pages or less. So what they're getting out of the course is the ability to dissect a complex situation and break it down so that they can understand some of the core ingredients of that situation that require decisions. Then they simulate or practice making decisions both through these cases and through the readings and the exercises that are part of the course material. And then the next thing I want the students to actually practice is articulating why they feel the way they do. It can't just be a feeling. It has to be a reasoned analysis and a defense of a decision, because that's ultimately what professionals do in organizations. They make choices, they make decisions, they articulate them either in writing or orally or both, and defend them. And those are things that need to be practiced in the classroom for students that have limited amount of professional experience.